Prime Minister, how big do you want the US rotational forces in Darwin to get? And do the Americans need access to a port that isn't Chinese-owned? And will your latest budget commitment go towards building one?
Well, it does. That was in the budget. That, in terms of the development of significant port facilities here in the Territory, it's all part of the Middle Arm program. It's a very significant program, and Damien or Tina may wish to comment on that. This is one of the biggest transformational investments in the Northern Territory that we've ever seen. This is going to revolutionise the Northern Territory with the infrastructure that is going to be built here, opening up the wealth of the Northern Territory, and it's going to see, I think, the Northern Territory go through a golden period. And you know, that is our vision for the Northern Territory. That's why the Northern Territory was the centrepiece of $21 billion worth of investment across regional Australia. We know what can be achieved up here in the Northern Territory, and we're very excited about it. No federal government has ever committed more to a more ambitious program developing the Northern Territory than ever before.
You mentioned law and order in the Northern Territory, and this is not in the Northern Territory, it's Sydney, but there's been 3 gangland assassinations in Sydney in a fortnight in public spaces. The police said yesterday the consistent theme is the drug war. Why is neither side of politics in this federal election saying anything about drug importation and the security of our borders and drugs?
Oh, well, I'd be happy to. I mean, we released our policy on all of those issues just a week.
People being killed in the streets of Sydney.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I would say that battling crime and law and order issues is a challenge in every country in the world. The idea that there's zero crime, I think, is a bit unrealistic. I mean, what we've done as a government is we have massively increased our investment in the federal police, in particular, to ensure that they're working more closely with state authorities, whether it be in New South Wales or Western Australia or anywhere else in the country, to ensure that they have the tools. I mean, we only have to go back to the major operation that we're involved in disrupting gangland activity that we did with the FBI. That was one of the most significant multi-jurisdictional operations that our country has ever engaged in. And in fact, the FBI came here. I stood with one of the senior FBI directors with me and praised Australia for the work that our AFP had done and our local law enforcement authorities. The battle against organised crime, it never stops. It never stops. And that's why we have continued to invest in the capabilities we have to track down organised crime, to disrupt organised crime, to use the surveillance and technology that's there to actually increase our capabilities, and not just on organised crime, but on pedophiles and those who would seek to abuse our children online and groom them. And we have been doing that in season and out as a government and made that a very big priority. Now, that is what our government has been doing. That's what we've been doing each and every day, increasing our capacity to deal with law and order issues. But importantly, and Damien may want to speak to this because we were just down in Alice Springs recently, a very serious problem with law and order there. We sat down with the mayor, we worked out the right way to deal with that, which was a mixture of early intervention programs through to greater patrols, and ensuring that we could deliver that on the ground there in Alice Springs. So we're coming to the table to try and solve these problems. But law and order here in the Territory, it's a big problem. And we've been putting resources to it and support to ensure that can be addressed. And with Damien and Tina, that will continue.